Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakturunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, Verse 1. Sri Narada Uvacha Ataddaitya Sutta Sarve Shutva Tad Anuvarnitam Jagrur Niravadyatvan Naiva Gurvanu Shikshitam. Narada Muni continued. All the sons of the demons appreciated the transcendental instructions of Prahlad Maharaj and took them very seriously. They rejected the materialistic instructions given by the teachers Shanda and Amarka. This is the effect of the preaching of a pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaj. If a devotee is qualified, sincere, and serious about Krishna consciousness, and if he follows the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, as Prahlad Maharaj did when preaching the instructions he had received from Narada Muni, his preaching is effective. So the criteria for preaching to be effective is very, very simple. When devotee is qualified, meaning devotee understands Shastra, more importantly, sincere and serious about Krishna consciousness, and follows instructions of Guru, then his preaching is effective. Anybody can do this, because it's not our ability as such. Our ability or our understanding of Shastra is just one part. And qualified doesn't also just mean philosophical understanding, right? All the other qualities of Vaishnavas. But more important, serious and sincere, and following instructions of Guru. As it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvidho Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kata. If one tries to understand the discourses given by the Sat or pure devotees, those instructions will be very pleasing to the ear and appealing to the heart. Now, of course, when we hear these words, pleasing to the ear and appealing to the heart, now it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just some lila. What is pleasing to the ear is that if we hear something which will help us to make progress, that should be pleasing to the ear and appealing also. And in fact, everything in Krishna consciousness is as sweet as Krishna, direct Shravana of Krishna Lila, right? Because everything is actually taking us towards achieving Krishna, and that has to appeal to our heart. That is what is pleasing to hear, not what we want to hear. Most of the times, people hear what they want to hear, and the other things they don't at all. So even when reading Prabhupada's books, that's what happens. So if suppose there's something in the purport which we can't digest, we will just ignore it. So what is pleasing to the ear and appealing to the heart is something which is going to help us. And that's what a pure devotee speaks. That's what Prabhupada is speaking here. Thus, if one is inspired to take Krishna consciousness and if one practices the process in his life, he is surely successful in returning home back to Godhead. By the grace of Prahlad Maharaj, all his class friends became Vaishnavas. They were all sons of demons. They did not like hearing from their so-called teachers Shanda and Amarka, who were interested only in teaching them about diplomacy, politics, economic development, and similar topics meant exclusively for sense gratification. So we should not be satisfied with this. A whole world is running behind sense gratification, and if we just simply associate with the material world, this is what we are going to get. And we should become disinterested in this. Mm. Okay, we have to go on because it's our duty, whatever, we have some responsibility to take care. Okay, we'll go on. But not with like very deep interest, not like that. Mm. So it has to be just as a matter of duty. Okay, that's all, nothing more. But the interest should be in Krishna. Again, those words I keep repeating all the time. Sincere, serious surrender to Guru. So this is what Prabhupada repeats these statements again and again. अथाचार्य सुतस्तेषां बुद्धिम् एकान्त संस्थिताम् आलक्ष्य भीतस्त्वरितो राज्ञा आवेद यद्यथा. Also another thing. So if we are sincere and serious, we can also preach to demons. I mean, and Kali Yuga is mostly full of demons. And our preaching will be successful if you follow that formula. When Shanda and Amarka, the sons of Shukracharya, observed that all the students, the sons of demons, were becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness because of the association of Prahlad Maharaj, they were afraid because Hiranyakashipu is going to get nasty. They approached the king of the demons and described the situation as it was. The words Buddhim Ekanta Samsthitam indicate that as an effect of Prahlad's preaching, the students who listened to him became fixed in the conclusion that Krishna consciousness is the only object of human life. Buddhim Ekanta Samsthitam. They made it fixed in Krishna consciousness. See, our Srila Prabhupada is as empowered as Prahlad Maharaj, right? I mean, it's not, I'm not comparing Prahlad Maharaj's empowerment or Prabhupada's empowerment. Prabhupada is also empowered. So we should not think that, oh, okay, only if I had heard from Prahlad Maharaj, it would have happened. No. Prabhupada, hearing from Prabhupada has the same effect. That one becomes fixed in Krishna consciousness and makes it the only object of life. Only object of life. Not one of the objects, not one of the goals in life. Only goal. The fact is that anyone who associates with a pure devotee and follows his instructions becomes fixed in Krishna consciousness and is not disturbed by materialistic consciousness. See, this is so clear. Again, I'm repeating. When we are reading Prabhupada's purports, we are hearing from Prabhupada, who is a pure devotee. So we have to hear, and that is our association with Srila Prabhupada, and we follow his instructions. We become fixed in Krishna consciousness. There is no doubt about it. In fact, we have to understand that our previous acharyas, Prabhupada's predecessors, they used to talk. If you look at their purports, mostly the purports are heavily focused on rasa, on the mellows of Krishna consciousness. In every purport, they try to bring out the underlying bhakti rasa. But Prabhupada actually, though he wants us to get to that, but he's giving us the foundation in his purports. And the foundation is actually what is going to make us fixed in Krishna consciousness, come to the stage of Nishta. And then we can actually get onto the platform of relishing higher topics, so to speak, right? So we should understand that Prabhupada is actually giving us something which is absolutely required for us. And of course, in ISKCON, it's also so happened that a devotee is not understanding completely what Prabhupada has given us, thought that Prabhupada, or even thinking even today, that Prabhupada has not given us everything. And even there are many, many instances of devotees leaving ISKCON, going to the Gaudiya Math and some other institutions, etc., because they thought Prabhupada did not give the full process to achieve Krishna. But absolutely not. But one has to understand Prabhupada's approach. He had an approach in his books, in preaching, in everything, was to actually first lay a very, very strong foundation of Krishna consciousness, and which is to get out of materialistic consciousness. That was the first, that is the focus. Of course, along with this, he's also, talked about rasa and so many things, but which are not which might seem hidden to us, which might not be obvious to us because we have still not come to the stage of purity. When we come to the stage of purity, then those statements will become more and more, loud when we read the purports. Mm. Mm. So the basis is this anartha nivriti, right? You have to get out of this material consciousness and remain fixed in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada's books are completely geared to bring us to that stage. And when a devotee actually comes to the stage of Nishtha, automatically by the process of chanting Hare Krishna, and Krishna will give the intelligence, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, and then we will make progress towards Bhava Prema. There is no doubt. So we should not doubt Prabhupada is Prabhupada's purports are deceptively simple. Mm, Deceptively simple. We can't actually make out sometimes, it just sounds like Prabhupada is repeating the same thing again and again. I used to feel like this for many years. Then I realized it's true and it's also not true. It's true because that's what we want and he's repeating it again and again. It's also not true because there are other things also, but we don't have access to those statements or understanding of those statements still yet, right? And as we make progress, we will understand. The teachers particularly observed this in their students and therefore they were afraid because the whole community of students was gradually become Krishna conscious. This is victory of Krishna consciousness, right? Suppose we are preaching in an area and the whole area has become Krishna conscious. What an amazing situation to dream about, right? And work towards it. So it was a great thing, right? The whole community of Asura children, the whole community of Asura children became Krishna conscious. What a powerful preaching. कोपावेशचलद्गात्र पुत्रं हन्तुं मनोददे क्षिप्त्वा परुषया वाचा प्रह्लादम् अतदर्हणम् आहे क्षमाण पापेन तिरश्चीनेन चक्षुषा प्रश्रयावनथं दान्तं बद्धाञ्जलिम् अवस्थितं सर्पपदाहत इव श्वसन् प्रकृतिदारुणः. When Hiranyakashipu understood the entire situation, he was extremely angry. Kopa Vesha. So much so that his body trembled. Then he finally decided to kill his son Prahlada. Hiranyakashipu was by very nature, was very cruel and feeling insulted. He began hissing like a snake trampled upon by someone's foot. He felt insulted because being the son of a demon, Prahlad is glorifying Vishnu and he's also spreading Krishna consciousness. It was an insult to Hiranyakashipu. Under my nose, all this is happening. His son Prahlada was peaceful, mild, and gentle. Very, very important. Peaceful, mild, and gentle. Senses were under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands. Now, please understand this mood of Prahlad Maharaj. Till now, what have we felt about the preaching of Prahlad Maharaj? We're just going through all his verses, right? Whatever he preached. What are you feeling? What is your takeaway? What is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj? Anybody? We've been reading so many verses, right? What is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj? What are you gathering? What have you gathered? Quickly. Okay, the interest of time. So Prahlad is actually doing heavy preaching, right? I mean, he's hammering on, give up material attachment, give up this kind of life, surrender to Krishna, serve Krishna. So he's not soft peddling, as they say. He's not soft peddling, meaning he's not saying, no, it's okay. Gradually you can come. You're all sons of asuras. How can you overnight give up all these nonsense? He's not saying that. Heavy preaching. But at the same time, he was peaceful, mind and gentle. Things are not, they're not opposing qualities of being mild and gentle at the same time heavy in preaching. Some people think that these two are opposing qualities. No, somebody who's mild and gentle will sit and say, please, you also chant Hare Krishna, it'll be nice for you, and tell some nice stories. No. Peaceful, mind and gentle with respect to his dealings with people, but on the Vyasasana heavy, which is what all great Vaishnavas do. They're heavy on the Vyasasana. Vajradapi Kathor, Kusumadapi Komal, more softer than lotus in personal dealings. His senses were under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands. He is not rebelling. He is not shouting. He is not like saying, unfair. How is it? This is such a unfair thing. How can you do it? You are my father. How can you try to kill me? No, he was peaceful. Peaceful because completely dependent on the Lord, and whatever Lord's desire is okay. He's mild also. Mild yet heavy. Right? This is Achintya Bheda Bheda. And gentle in his dealings. But his senses were controlled, and he stood simply with folded hands. According to Prahlada's age and behavior, he was not to be chastised. He was so small, 5 years boy. Yet with staring crooked eyes, Hiranyakashipu rebuked him with the following harsh words. When one is impudent toward a highly authorized devotee, one is punished by the laws of nature. See, if one is impudent toward a highly authorized devotee, one is punished by the laws of nature. The duration of his life is diminished. So this is Vaishnava Aparad. Duration of his life is diminished, loses the blessings of superior persons and results of pious activities. Hiranyakashipu, for example, had achieved such great power in the material world that he could subdue practically all the planetary systems, including Swarga. Yet now, because of his mistreatment of such a Vaishnava as Prahlada, all the results of his tapasya are diminished. Gone. Everything is gone. Bhagavatam says, Ayushriyam yasho dharmam lokanashisha eva cha anti shreyamsi sarvani pumso mahadatikramaha. Great mistake, which is, atikrama is, krama is, rules, some guidance in terms of how we have to deal with devotees, with great souls. This is atikrama means you are transgressed it. You did not follow. Mahadatikrama means great mistake, great transgression against great souls. So what happens? Lifespan, opulence, reputation, religion, possessions, good fortune, everything is destroyed. Practically everything is destroyed. Prabhupada summarized this saying that, he loses everything. He loses all his pious activities. Everything is gone. Sriranyakashipu Ruvacha. Sriranyakashipu. He durvinita mandatman kulabhedakkaraadhama stabdham machchasanodvritam neshetvadya yamakshayam. Hiranyakashipu said, "Oh, most impudent, most unintelligent, disruptor of family. Kulabheda, you are destroying the family. You are adhama, lowest of mankind. Stabdham, most impudent, obstinate, stubborn. Mat Shasana, you have violated my power to rule you." He is worried about his power to rule. You violated it. And therefore you are an obstinate fool. Today I shall send you to the place of Yamaraja. See, Hiranyakashipu, this was his problem. He wanted everybody to be under his control, and Prahlad Maharaj was not ready to come under his control. So Hiranyakashipu is saying, you are violating my rule, my power to rule you. Hiranyakashipu condemned his Vaishnavas and Prahlada for being Durvinita. Durvinita means ungentle, uncivilized, or impudent. While in the previous verse only, qualities of Prahlad was pleasant, gentle, and mild and gentle. But from Hiranyakashipu's perspective, he was not gentle. He was not civilized. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, however, has derived a meaning from this word, Durvinita, by the mercy of goddess of learning, Saraswati. He says that Duh refers to this material world. Is confirmed by Lord Krishna in his instruction in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalayam. So, Duh means material. Vi means Vishesha, specifically. Nita means brought in. See, this is the beauty of Sanskrit. You know, one word has multiple meanings, multiple ways to break it, interpret it. So one is Durvinita, direct meaning is ungentle. Now the secondary meaning, which our acharyas derive, is what is this? He came to this material, he is brought in specifically to this material world. By the mercy of Supreme Lord, Prahlad Maharaj was especially brought to this material world to teach devotion. So that way he is Durvinita. Lord says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. When the entire population or part of it becomes forgetful of its own duty, what is its duty? Paradharma. There are two types of duty, aparadharma, paradharma. Aparadharma is varnashrama dharma. Paradharma is bhakti. Aparadharma also indirectly brings Vishnu Dharadhyate, brings one to worshipping Vishnu. So one becomes forgetful of his duty. Now today in Kali Yuga, both dharmas are gone almost. There's no varnashrama dharma and bhakti is also dwindling. Then Krishna comes. And Krishna has come already in Kali Yuga. When Krishna is not present, the devotee is present. Oh, okay, Krishna is not there when we are here. No, devotees come. Prabhupada has come. Prabhupada's great Vaishnava disciples are there. Other great Vaishnavas are there. Then devotees are there. But the mission is the same. What? To free the poor conditioned souls from the clutches of Maya that chastises them. We have to free the poor conditioned souls. Not retain them in some subtle binding. No, we have to free them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further explains that the word mandatman means very bad or very slow in spiritual realization. Manda samandamatayo. Prahlad Maharaj is the guide of all mandas. He is the benefactor even of the slow and bad living entities in this material world, like Lord Shiva, the most fallen jivas. He benefits them. Kulabeda Karadhama. By his actions, Prahlada made great personalities who established big families seem insignificant. Everyone is interested in his own family and in making his dynasty famous, but Prahlada was so liberal that he made no distinction between one living entity and another. Therefore, he was greater than the great Prajapatis who established their dynasties. The word stabdham means obstinate. A devotee does not care for the instructions of the asuras, so he is obstinate. When they give instructions, he remains silent. A devotee cares about the instructions of Krishna, not those of demons or non-devotees. This is very important to note. We don't have to care for the instructions of demons or non-devotees. It could be they could be in the garb of family, friends, etc. But if they are non-devotees, don't care. Prabhupada in some other purposes, just in front of them says yes, okay, and then do whatever is required. Don't confront them because it's not going to help. They're not going to understand. They're not going to change. So in front of them, it says just yes, say yes, and then do whatever is required. He does not give any respect to a demon, even though the demon be his father. Achashanodvrittam. Achashanodvrittam. Prahlad Maharaj was disobedient to the orders of his demoniac father. Yamakshayam. Every conditioned soul is under the control of Yamaraj. But Hiranyakashipu said that he considered Prahlada his deliverer. For Prahlada would stop Hiranyakashipu's repetition of birth and death. So this is the secondary meaning. Because Prahlada, being a great devotee, was better than a yogi, Hiranyakashipu was to be brought among the society of bhakti yogis. So Prahlada was his deliverer. That way he is Yamakshayam. Thus Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained these words in a very interesting way, as they can be interpreted from the side of Saraswati, the mother of learning. So which means normally this happens when demons speak verses which are disrespectful of devotees or even the Supreme Lord, and Mother Saraswati actually gives a secondary meaning, which means basically all the great acharyas, scholarly devotees. Okay, Hare Krishna, mute please. Please mute Sita Mataji, Sita Pratima Mataji, please mute yourself. Okay. So, yeah. So what happens? All these great qualified, all scholarly devotees, they are able to derive the secondary meaning. So, and then it ends up being the devotees, the demon who was blaspheming the Lord or his devotees, actually ends up glorifying them in a secondary way. This happens multiple times in Bhagavatam. Now our acharyas give such commentary. क्रुद्धस्य यस्य कम्पन्ते त्रयो लोका सहेश्वराः तस्य मे भीतवन्मूढा शासनं किं बलोत्यगाः. My son Prahlada, you rascal. You rascal. This is possibly Prabhupada. Yeah, Prabhupada, because here, oh yeah, it's there. Okay, Muda, rascal. You know that when I am angry, all the planets of the three worlds tremble, along with their chief rulers. By whose power has a rascal like you become so impudent that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you? You appear fearless. In so many ways he's tried to kill Prahlad, but Prahlad seems just fearless. The relationship between a pure devotee and the Supreme Lord is extremely relishable. A devotee never claims to be very powerful himself. Instead, he fully surrenders to the lotus feet of Krishna, being confident that in all dangerous situations, Krishna will protect his devotee. So that way the devotee is powerful, but he doesn't think that he is powerful himself. He just thinks, because I'm surrendered and I'm sincere, I'm confident that Krishna will protect me in all dangerous situations. Krishna himself says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare boldly that my devotee never perishes. Lord requested Arjuna to declare this instead of declaring it himself, because sometimes Krishna changes his view and therefore people might not believe him. Thus Krishna asked Arjuna to declare that a devotee of the Lord is never vanquished. So Krishna will protect. Hiranyakashipu was perplexed about how his 5-year-old boy could be so fearless that he did not care for the order of his very great and powerful father. A devotee cannot execute the order of anyone except the Supreme Lord. He cannot execute the order, be it whoever. Could be father, mother, children, husband, wife. He cannot execute the order of anyone, especially if it is opposing to Krishna consciousness. This is the position of a devotee. Hiranyakashipu could understand that this boy must have been very powerful, since the boy did not heed his orders. Hiranyakashipu asked his son, Kim balaha? Whose strength? By whose strength are you doing this? How have you overcome my order? Of course, we should note that, in this statement saying that devotee cannot execute the order of anyone except Supreme Lord, it's not that devotees create a fighting situation everywhere. That everywhere, home, outside, everywhere we are, opposing people, and not like that. Prahlad was pleasant, gentle, and mild. That is how we need to deal with people. We don't have to necessarily accept what they are saying. And when we are pleasant, gentle, mild, people don't even, mind so much. Okay, maybe he has his own approach. But if you become aggressive, they'll also become aggressive. Then the whole thing will get spoiled. Or we become frustrated and show our anger, then nothing, we can't achieve anything. So we have to really, we should put ourselves in Prahlad Maharaj's shoes. Anybody, actually everybody, because all of us every now and then keep facing some situations or the other, right, which frustrates us, which irritates us, which angers us. Some compromising situations. No, but we don't compromise, but we remain pleasant, gentle, and mild. So we can learn from this. We cannot say, but how only Prahlad Maharaj can do it. If Prahlad Maharaj can do it, then Prahlad Maharaj gave us also the mercy. See, when we want to follow the instruction of a Vaishnava, the instruction comes with mercy. So if you pray to Prahlad Maharaj, saying that Prahlad Maharaj, I want to be able to deal with all my life situations in your way. Please give me mercy. Please bless me. Yeah, then Prahlad Maharaj will bless. Simple. That is the reason why hearing about Vaishnavas, association of Vaishnavas, and then we can pray to them that we can get a drop of their qualities. Then our life will be successful. Shri Prahlad Uvacha न केवलं मे भवतश्च राजन् स वैबलं बलिनां चापरेषां परे वरे मी स्थिर जंगमाये ब्रह्मादयो येन वशं प्रणीताः. Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear king, now he's answering his father, but he's now calling king. The source of my strength, of which you are asking, is also the source of yours. Indeed, it is the original source of all kinds of strength. It is the one same original source. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength, whether moving or not moving, superior or inferior. Everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of that person. Who is that? Supreme Lord. Direct answer. So Krishna said, Yat Yat Vibhuti Mat Sattvam. Know that all beautiful, glorious, mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. This is confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. If one sees extraordinary strength or power anywhere, it is derived from the Supreme Lord. To give an example, there are different grades of fire, but all of them derive heat and light from the sun. Similarly, all living entities, big or small, are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. One's only duty is to surrender, for one is a servant and cannot independently attain the position of master. In all situations, whether we accept it or not, we are servants. So our only duty is to surrender. One can attain the position of master only by the mercy of the master, not independently. Meaning, a disciple is surrendered to the guru. Now, guru tells the disciple, you become guru. So then he became a master, but not otherwise. One cannot become self-proclaimed master because our constitutional position is to be servant. Unless one understands this philosophy, he is still a moodha. He is not very intelligent. And if we think that we are independent, we are the masters, even while doing devotion, then we are foolish. The moodhas, asses who do not have this intelligence, cannot surrender unto the Supreme Lord. Now, which is why this whole system of authority and surrender is important, which we keep discussing every now and then, right? So we have to have that sense of authority and surrender. And we cannot decide to become authorities unless we've been given that position, right? And devotees will get chosen for those roles by their surrender, by their dedication, by mercy of Guru, etc. We have to respect. Understanding the subordinate position of the living entity takes millions of births. Just understanding the subordinate position, because everyone wants to be masters in all situations. But when one is actually wise, bhavanam janmanam ante gnanaman, he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord. Mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Very, very rare soul who surrenders unto Krishna, knowing him to be everything. Well, it happens after many, many births. Prahlada was a great soul, a Mahatma, and therefore he completely surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. He was confident that Krishna would give him protection under all circumstances. So this pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, this is the one central theme. His faith in the Supreme Lord. In the most trying circumstances, almost on the verge of being killed, he still was unshaken. He was still unshaken because he knew that, I am not this body. I am spirit soul, so I am eternal. And this body, if it has to be destroyed, then it is Lord's desire. If he wants to protect it, he will protect it. If he doesn't have any work, if he doesn't have anything, any service for this body, then this body will go. Simple. But Krishna will give protection. He is going to protect my devotion. That faith the devotee has, that faith Prahlad Maharaj has. And just to come to this level of surrender and dependence on Krishna takes us lifetimes. But at the same time, it can happen very quickly in the association of similar surrendered devotees. Hearing from them, associating from them, seeing them deal with their life and these situations, we can get inspired and learn. Okay, so I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, comments, you can make.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, question. So basically, I mean, I see how, Prabhu, are you getting any echo or feedback from my end?
No, no, it's okay.
Okay, okay, dear. So the question is, yeah, I mean, so reading through all these passages, I mean, you could see how Prahlad Maharaj is, yeah, I mean, he's completely surrendered. He's behaving in such a way, but the moment we step out, right? I mean, the moment. I mean, I'm talking about myself. I am not talking about anyone else. But the moment I step out, so looks like. I mean, see, looks like everyone is in their own way of behaving, in the sense, like, so if you go out in the traffic, so people are trying to overtake someone is coming this side, they're bumping into each other. Looks like as if everyone is ready to fight. And then I am also sometimes I, so when a situation like that occurs, because every time you step out, you are facing these circumstances every day, right?
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, if not in small towns, especially in Bangalore, it looks like everyone is on the edge of their anger, right? So the way they behave, the way they talk to each other, because I was just dropping my kids off, coming back, I could see like people are like they're bumping into each other, they got off, and then they started blaming each other, started fighting, so I mean, in that situation, I'm also ready to fight, so how do you control, or is it, how do you react in that situation? Because I personally feel that I have that, I'm always in a mode to fight. But Prahlad Maharaj, like, is like completely opposite. Right? How can we,
Yeah,
you know?
yesterday, yeah, I'll answer this. So yesterday I was talking to one Mataji, and so she was saying that her husband is not as Krishna conscious as she is in terms of practices, etc. And then he was asking her, saying that why do you get angry? Why do you get frustrated? Why do you get irritated situations? Like that. Since he was saying his point was like, see, you're doing so much of chanting, reading, and all that. Still, you have all these not so mm, desirable qualities. Right? See,
Yeah.
one thing for me always, at least that's what I try to follow is whenever there's a situation, I first of all try to remember that I am actually representing Prabhupada. First thing, right? Above all material situations, whatever it is, right? First thing is that I'm representing Prabhupada, I'm representing ISKCON. Because if I'm wearing a tilak, etc., then people know that, okay, ISKCON people, right? And which is also the reason why we should be somewhat in Vaishnava attire, so that we can remind ourselves, saying that by the way, I'm a Vaishnava. I'm practicing to become a Vaishnava, right? So now we have to show the world, right? Now, if suppose if we are ourselves in this, belligerent mood, fighting mood, what are we going to preach? Now, we cannot tell people to, in our preaching, then we will not tell people saying that, you have to just accept whatever is coming as Krishna's will. We will say we should fight for our rights. No, but this is not in our Shastra at all. Because what is being told is whatever is happening is your karma pala and vitranada pisunichena. Now we are just simply going against it. So what will be the effect of our preaching? We can't
Mhm.
preach. We can't preach when we are in this stage. So every time we are into these testing situations, that test us. Remember the instructions of Guru Sadhu Shastra, right? And if it was so, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have said that this Trunadapi Sunichena is the central, verse, right, for practice for all devotees. So there is no point actually, then we become non-different from them. And that's a
Mm.
big thing actually, because we want to be different from them. We are not like them, right? Like
So how would
I,
you respond, Prabhu? How would you
yeah.
respond?
So
Like
I'll
you're
I'll
in a
I'll tell
situation of
you,
confrontation right now. You could not
yeah.
avoid it, right? So
No,
that situation is there. The
not
other
that we
guy is
cannot.
shouting at you.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it's fine.
so how
It's
do we
fine.
respond in that situation? Yeah.
I mean, why should we respond? See if the if see like if suppose say it's that person's mistake and he's shouting, then he's
Yes.
making double mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you contribute to that conversation, you are making him do more mistakes. And also considering that you are a Vaishnava, now unknowingly he's doing also Vaishnava aparadh.
Mm.
Right? Have mercy on the other jivas. I mean, this is the whole point, right? I mean, if we are always just thinking about me, and what is this me? I mean, we are supposed to be going out of this me.
Yes, yes.
We're supposed to think about ourselves as spirit souls. And then we're supposed to have compassion for all jivas who are suffering. And we don't want to exacerbate their situation, already suffering life, right? We don't
Okay.
want to go and add fire to that already, burning. Their life is already burning. We don't want to
So,
add to
so,
that.
so what is your, how do you respond, Prabhu? I mean, you should just say, yeah, I mean, just move away calmly.
Yeah, just move away. Yeah, I mean, 2, 3 months back, somebody banged into my car,
Mm.
and I had nothing to do. I mean, he just simply came and banged into me.
Yes.
Immediately when I just got out of my car, I was in this fighting mode, saying that what
Mm.
nonsense. But as soon as I came out, I realized saying that no, I can't deal with this person just like how I was dealing before. Then
Mm.
I was upset. I was visibly upset because it was Krishna. I mean, I'm going to waste Krishna's money on getting it fixed, right?
Mm.
So then I told him, Yenappa, this is like temple's property. You're destroying. You spoilt it. Now Krishna's money will be wasted. Then I
Mm.
just to keep him on his toes, I just said, give me your number. I
Mm.
will call you when I get it fixed. You will pay for it. When he was
Mm.
literally, he was, I mean, I didn't shout, I didn't do anything, right? And
Mm.
he was like literally, saying, sir, sorry, I am driver, this, that, and all that. Then I just felt compassionate, saying that, somebody's, because if I would have got aggressive, he might have also got aggressive, right?
Mm.
So, but the whole point is that we just realized, saying at that point of time, thought came to my mind, saying that, yeah, I mean, some karma phala, what to do.
But in this case, Prabhu, that other party is he responded little softly. But
No,
I
because
mean,
I didn't say
I've
anything.
seen
I didn't say anything to
same
irritate him.
thing.
I
But
didn't
but
irk
but
him.
but I mean, I've seen cases where even though it's a mistake of the other party, they come, they play defensive mode, right? So
Yeah.
how would you respond in that
No,
situation?
no,
I mean,
but see, the response begins with, see, the first thing is saying that
uh,
okay, see, suppose somebody came and banged into you. Now, who's going to be the first person to respond? You will be the
ah,
person to respond, right?
yes, yes, yeah,
Because you will go and question. Now, how you're going to approach will take the whole direction of that conversation.
right, right.
It's very simple, right? Because you start aggressive, that person will become aggressive, defensive.
Mm-hmm.
You go soft, he will also remain soft. See, if you say, sir, what is this, sir? You could have just
Mm-hmm.
like waited for 2 minutes. No, see, now this one happened.
Yes, yes.
No, why will he get aggressive? When you are being so soft and nice, and you are the one who is affected, and you are being soft and nice to him, why is he going to get aggressive? He is not going to.
Okay, okay, Prabhu.
Try this. I mean, and this is true in all relations,
Yeah,
all
I'm trying that.
situations.
It worked in couple of cases.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying that.
yeah.
But
It will
just want
work.
to make sure it's consistent, because sometimes, the aggressive part of us,
Yeah,
because especially, I don't know, I mean, it's not this chaotic in other places. At least while I was growing up in small towns, it was not this chaotic. But I mean, what I'm seeing is the moment you step out, like everyone is aggressive to each other,
correct, correct. So
It's
that is
like,
why we should get out of city. Simple solution, right? Not getting, more affected by these horrible situations. Because,
yes, yes,
but anyway,
that
so
is
see, the point is that which is one of the reasons why we should be in some form of Vaishnava clothes, right? Because
yes,
actually sometimes, we forget ourselves because we are in this, we are living in the mind, right? All the time. We've been living in the mind before also. Now also we continue to live in the mind. And in the
yes,
mind, our image about ourselves has not changed. He still remains, like this is the Vinod from birth, right? I've known this Vinod from birth, and this is that Vinod, right? But
Mm.
I'm not actually moved on in my own seeing myself as a devotee,
Yes, yes,
right? And that is the reason we have to keep reminding ourselves.
yes,
Mm,
yes.
right, so we have to, so somewhat in our dressing, our so it should help us, it should remind us, saying that, hey, by the way, you're supposed to be a devotee. And
Mm.
these situations will test those yeah. Yeah, these are all the tests. Yesterday in the class, I was saying these are all unit tests. The final exam is going to be death, right? But these are all unit tests for us. Small, small things here and there, all the time popping up, saying that pass, fail, pass, fail, pass, fail. And what is pass, fail? Pass is Prahlad Maharaj, right? Pleasant, gentle, mild, pass. Any other reaction, fail. Okay, one more attempt, one more test is going to come up, right? Okay,
Mm.
keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Don't give up. Right? That's
Okay,
what that's our life. That's how we're going to go to Krishna. Okay.
okay, bro. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Then we'll close here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhishta Kripa Sindhu Bheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhakta ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining.